And I have my highly esteemed guest, Kathy Hyder, which I love. She's the CEO and Chief Executive Officer and co-founder of Remembering Vets, Remembering Heroes. So we're going to talk about that this morning. So you'll be looking for it behind the scenes. I'm not going to make any mistakes, and I'm not falling out of my chair.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. All right, you ready?
All set.
You are now tuned in to Today with Pastor Jay on WNZF News Radio, where we discuss inspiring and informative news. And now here's your host, Pastor Jerlyn Denny.
Wake up, good morning, wake up and stretch because it's a beautiful day, a wonderful day, and a great day to be on this side of the earth. I always start my show with that because I'm grateful, thankful, and blessed to be alive, to get right today what I messed up on yesterday. And it's just a wonderful day. The Lord's mercies are just new every morning, and I am happy about it. So, my highly esteemed guest, I say highly esteemed because she's a phenomenal woman, this morning is Kathy Hyder. Kathy Hyder is just a great person in the community. She's the CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and co founder of Remembering Vets, Remembering Heroes. Good morning, Kathy. How are
Good
you?
morning. Morning, Pastor Jay. How are you today?
And listen, I can't complain. If I did, who gonna listen? Do anybody listen?
I don't think so.
Yeah. That's part of my job is listening to other people. And as days and times have gone, I'm doing a lot more listening than normal. Than
Absolutely.
because of, we're outside of the COVID thing and a lot of people have been going through depression and all different anxieties and just a lot going on. And listening is really an art. And often when I'm listening to other people, I'm going, Lord, just help me stay focused. Help me not try to fix their issues or their problems um, and just pray that they will be guided by you in doing that themselves. I mean, you can
Yes.
offer advice, but sometimes here lately, I've just been wanting to fix everybody's problems. I'm like, oh, I got the answer to that. I got the answer. Yeah, no, I do not have the answer to anything.
Well, I'm sure they appreciate your listening.
Yeah, well, it's easier said than done. All right, so let's talk about you, Miss Kathy. You are a
Okay.
firecracker. I've been watching you in the community for a few years, and I'm just amazed at what you do. So you have children, you have family.
I do have children. I have two sons. However, I lost my youngest son in Iraq in 2003 at the very young age of 22.
Oh wow.
And my oldest son, Glenn Hyder, he still lives in Long Island in New York. I moved here to Palm Coast in 2005 um, after spearheading the movement to increase the death benefit for the armed forces,
Mm-hmm.
which did happen on May 11th, 2005, when former President George W. Bush signed on that bill increasing the death benefit. And how that actually came about is because when my youngest son was killed in Iraq, he only had a $10,000 death benefit. So the pain that hit me was okay, it's painful, it hurts, but you need to do something about this. So I immediately, after going through all the services and having my son finally interned, I ended up going to Congress. My congressman at the time, Steve Israel, Second District, Long Island, and I asked him, "What can we do?" And we talked about submitting a bill to Congress, um, asking our government administration to guarantee adequate life insurance for America's troops, which that bill was named after my son, the HR 3436, the Raheem Tyson Hyder Life Insurance for America's Troops Act. And that was the first bill submitted to Congress. And I'm very proud to say that I was a part of making this happen for our country, for our armed forces, all of our service members and their families, because, as I said, on May 11th, finally the bill got passed through Congress. It was passed actually under the HEROES Act. not under the bill that I submitted, but the bill that I submitted was the bill that started the movement. So
Wow.
I am so proud today that I was a part of that. And also, about 1,700 families, including myself, ended up receiving retroactive death benefit once the bill was signed on by former President George W. Bush. And after that happened, my life, number one, changed forever immediately after my son's death.
Wow. I mean, I can't even imagine through your pain and suffering and your anguish of losing your son. And thank you for sharing that with me. Condolences even now. I know that's something that you
Thank
live
you.
with every day, something that you
Yes, I do.
live every day. So I'm just learning about that. That is super cool. And that you were able to do that through your pain and your anguish. I love, God always can take something and turn it around and use it for good. And
Yes,
you've done so much for so many wonderful families that through
yes.
your pain and your anguish, everybody said, Pastor Jay said that's super cool. No, I'm not talking about the death of your son, but how you were able to take that and do something so positive is great. That benefit so many
So
families,
many people
so many people, and how it's still benefiting
still
people. So
benefiting.
thank
And
you so much for that.
yes,
Also, I had no idea that you lived in Long Island. Did you know I was a Long Island resident?
no, I did
Yes,
not.
Wyandanch, Suffolk County. Can you believe that?
I did not.
Yes, my mom was the first black woman chief of the rescue squad there in Long Island, well, Wyandanch, New York, I should say.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yes, I
Oh, wow.
know. Small
And
world,
I
right?
lived in Bay Shore, New
Oh
York.
my goodness,
We were neighbors
we were
almost.
neighbors almost. Yeah, we went to different high schools together.
Yes.
So it's so wonderful to hear that, and now you're here in Flagler County.
I moved here in to Flagler County in Palm
What
Coast.
brought you here?
Well, once the death benefit was passed, and I had been in Congress for 2 years fighting to get that death benefit
Mm.
passed and get the death benefit increased for our armed forces.
What was it increased to?
At the time that my son was killed, the maximum was $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
It is now $400,000. The gratuity was $6,000. It is now $100,000. All of the spousal benefits, benefits for the children, they've made changes to all of that, increases. And I've even heard just recently over the last month that they have increased the actual death benefit even more. I'm not quite sure what it is now, but I have heard that they have increased it even more.
Which
So
is wonderful. I mean, you cannot put any type of a number of
no,
on a life,
no.
when it comes to with money. But $10,000 was just, you can't even
It was
embalm anyone
unbelievable.
for
Yeah.
$10,000. I mean, it's just, plus you can't take care of any bill, and if they have family, have children, spouses, and
Absolutely. And losing a loved one while serving active duty, it takes a toll on the family.
it does, it does.
It takes a
When you
huge
sign
toll
on
the
that dotted
family.
line, that's
Yes.
it.
Yes. So here I am in Palm Coast, and when I first got here, I realized that after working in Congress that I wanted to continue serving our heroes and serving our veteran community. So I started out at the VFW post 8696,
Mm-hmm.
and I was helping them with the public relations. I got involved with the auxiliary for a little while and just spending time there. And I wanted to learn more about our veteran community and get more involved in the community itself as a whole. So that's where I started out. And day by day, year by year, here I am today. And I am just in love with Palm Coast. I love the city. I love the people. My organization has done so many things to enrich the lives of our veterans and even some people in the community. We placed the Invisible Wounds Memorial at the Heroes Memorial Park
Mm-hmm.
in Palm Coast on Veterans Day 2016. We also work with homeless veteran shelters. We belong to I belong basically to all the veterans organizations between Flagler and Volusia County, and stay very active on a daily basis and understand that this has been all a part of my healing.
Wow.
Yes.
Are we going to talk about that? Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial, because healing is, I mean, heal people, hurt people, hurt people. I say it all the time. In fact, I just said it last week, but we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. I was like, what's the squeaking? We can switch chairs if we need to.
I'm okay. I'll sit still.
Healing. Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. I'm your host, Pastor Geraldine Denny, and my special guest is Kathy Hyder. She is a Gold Star mom. Her son was killed in Iraq. She's been in Flagler since 2005. He was killed in 2003. Spent 2 years in Congress fighting for everyone. That's the way I look at it. Our veterans serve us. They serve us. They do.
Yes.
In every way imaginable and possible. And when you join the military and when you sign up and then you enlist, your life literally is in the hands of the government.
Yes, it is.
It really is. So birthing a son and going through that, and that your baby, I mean, he was so young. For him to give his life for his nation, his country, I thank you so much for the sacrifice that you have made.
And thank you. Thank you. And the one thing that I can say about my son is that I am so proud of his service and his sacrifice. Yes, he gave his life for his country. Yes, he paid the ultimate sacrifice, but I'm so proud of his service and sacrifice. And that's what I do, because I want to forever continue to raise the awareness about what the sacrifice of our service members mean to this country and to the American people. And I want to assure my son and all those that have served this country that they shall never be forgotten. Their service will never go unnoticed. And we, as the American people, owe them a debt that we could never repay.
Thank you so much for that. So do you connect with other Gold Star moms?
Absolutely. I am actually the chapter president for American Gold Star Mothers of Volusia County, Daytona Beach chapter, but currently we're in the process of changing the chapter over to Volusia County, Flagler County chapter, because I live here in Flagler County, and we may even have it changed to Northeast Florida.
Right.
I actually will be attending the American Gold Star Mother Convention this weekend in Fort Myers, Florida, where all the Gold Star mothers from the state of Florida get together and we celebrate our loved ones that have given their lives for this country.
I have 7 children. I can't even imagine losing one of them, especially for fighting for this nation, this country. How do you feel when people just look at America and just thumb their nose up at the flag? And
oh, that's a terrible thing for me, because I believe in my American flag, and I know that our service members, so many of them have served and died for that flag and shed blood for that flag. So that flag means everything to me.
let's talk about some of the things you do with Remembering Vets, Remembering Heroes. One of the things that I know of personally is the Quilt of Honor.
Yes.
So last year I received from your organization a Quilt of Honor as a community hero.
Yes.
I was so honored by that. And I know you told me to use the quilt.
Yes.
You know,
I hope that you do.
Yeah, I used it real well. I treasure it so much. It's in a box now.
Oh, no, you have to take it out and wrap yourself up in it.
I wrap myself up in it when I'm feeling, like
That's
I
your
need a
comfort
warm
quilt.
hug,
Yes.
right? When I need the warm
Yes.
hug, I take it and I wrap myself, and then I just put it right back in the.
Yes. Well, the quilt
And I
of
won't
honor,
allow anybody to touch it either.
that's your quilt.
That's right.
for you.
That's right.
So when you received the Quilt of Honor last year, you received it at our fall festival, which was an event that we did last year at the town center, Central Park. And what we wanted to do at that event was to honor all of our community heroes. Yes, we honor our veterans, but we wanted to make sure that our first responders were honored,
Mm-hmm.
our Gold Star families were honored, and also our unsung heroes and local community heroes that stood steadfast during the COVID pandemic and were on the front line fighting to keep us safe during
Mm.
that time. So we wanted to make sure that they too were also honored. We will be doing the same thing again this year at our second annual Fall Festival, which will be held on September 24th. It will be at Town Center again. And we are looking forward to just giving honor and making sure that our heroes are recognized for the service that they give to our community.
Well, the quilts are beautiful. They're patriotic quilts,
Yes.
and they are amazing. And they're made by
These quilts are actually made by groups of women who are quilters, and they do this from the love of their heart. One group in particular is from Mount Dora, Florida, First Baptist Church in Mount Dora. They're called
Mhm.
the Peacemaker Quilters. We also have Racing Fingers out of Ormond Beach, Florida, who do an amazing job with our quilts. The quilts are also presented at the Veterans Court program in Daytona Beach. If you're not familiar with the Veterans Court program, it is a program which is specific to the needs of veterans that get into the court system. They have to go through approximately a 1 year program, and they have a actual graduation ceremony
Mm.
in the courtroom. And at that graduation ceremony, remembering vets, we are there to present each one of those graduates from the program with a Quilt of Honor in recognition of their service and sacrifice to our country and to the American people.
That is wonderful. So the Veterans Court program, I know we have a lot of veterans that
Yes.
fall into some
Yes,
situations
they
they
do.
shouldn't be because they suffer from those invisible scars,
Yes.
a lot of PTSD.
Yes.
They're not handling things well, and they're trying to cope with some internal issues. So, unfortunately, it happens that they do fall into a life of crime, or they commit a crime, or
Yes.
they're doing something and they may be triggered and then they commit a crime. So,
Hmm.
that's wonderful that you participate and that you have something
Yeah,
like that.
we've actually been doing it now going on 4 years, and it's just an amazing courtroom situation to witness, because the first time that I went, it was just incredible. I could not believe that this courtroom was a courtroom of compassion and sincere care and wanting these veterans to get better, wanting these veterans to get on a better path for their life. And also the courtroom itself and all the people that are involved are usually veterans or come from a military family. So it's much more compassionate. And
We,
when I saw tears and
mm,
I saw laughter and I saw hugs in this courtroom, I was simply amazed, and I just decided, this is where I belong to.
before the break, you mentioned about how serving other people have helped you heal.
Yes, it is truly a healing. Um, I had a choice when I lost my son. I could have chose to remain angry. I could have chose to be in pain. I could have chose to blame someone else for his death. But I chose to take all of that pain and anger and turn it into something powerful and something healing. And that's why I have chosen this path. And that's how Remembering Vets and Remembering Heroes has come about. And all the things that we do in this community to serve our heroes has been such a healing for me. It's changed my life forever.
Well, I know you have changed the lives of a lot of people. You've changed my life. I mean, that quilt, someone else looks at it and go, whatever. To me, just to be
Thank you.
recognized for the work that I do behind the scenes that no one else get a chance to see or do or whatever. They see some of it, but they have no idea of the labor of love. So it was
Yes.
just such an honor because I know your organization is a
Yes.
phenomenal one. So you have the vet connections, you have the Patriot community partnerships, you connect veterans, first responders, military families with goods and services provided to them through the community and local government agencies. Of course, we mentioned the Quilt of Honor. You have the home buyer and seller program, which is great.
Yes.
That's a great thing. Invisible Wounds Memorial, you mentioned first responder and hometown heroes program, supporting sheriff's employee assistant trusts,
Yes.
military survivor emergency fund. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And your website is
It is rememberingvets.org, which will become rememberingheroes.org, but you'll still find it
okay.
under Remembering Vets. It will automatically link to Remembering Heroes.
Gotcha.
We're actually in a restructuring period right now. So all of our brochures are being revised, our website is being rebuilt. We have a lot of great things going on.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that. I got to take another break. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. Talk about this that's going on, if that's okay. Okay. Oof, my allergies are
I
a mess
just want
this
to
year.
thank my board members.
Oh, you can do that. You can do that. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about, and then at the end, ready? I'm going to thank you and a shout out to Steve Verrier, thefloridamortgagecenter.com, thefloridamortgagecenter.com for sponsoring Today with Pastor Jay. And you know, he is all about vets and making sure vets get loans. So this is just a great opportunity. You have a fundraiser. Before the break, you talking about all the stuff you have going on. There is
Yes.
a fundraising event going on, a pig roast. Join us for the first annual pig roast is June 11th, Tangerine Avenue in Bunnell. So you're partnering with the 2K Ranch of Bunnell. This is going to be great. $25 per person.
Absolutely.
Yes. Make sure you go to the website supporting veterans, first responders, Gold Star military families, and local community heroes. So what's going to happen at this pig roast? I'm hungry just thinking about
it's
it.
just going to be full of fun. Number one, we're going to be camping out overnight at
What?
the ranch.
We
So if you
camping
want
out
to
at the
bring your
ranch?
tent and camp out and roast some marshmallows, hot dogs, hamburgers the night before, we'll start the pig to roasting for the next day. There's going to be horseback riding, games for the children, and just lots of love and fun and camaraderie.
Wow.
And if you have not been to 2K Ranch, let me tell you, you're missing something.
I might have to think about this one.
You have to come. Please, please
Anytime I go
join us
camping,
on that day.
Anytime I go camping, it gives me flashback to my Army days.
Oh
I
well,
don't want-
this will be an amazing event that we're having, and again, it's to support all of our community heroes, veterans, first responders, Gold Star families, and our local community heroes. And before I leave, I want to thank most of all my board members who, without them, none of these things that I do could be possible because they have been such a tremendous help to me and help to keep me focused, keep me on track, and keep me doing what needs to be done to keep us up and running. First, I want to thank Stephen Swarner, who is a Navy veteran. And he too is also a mortgage lender for Approved Mortgage. I want to thank Chase Russell, who is an Air Force veteran. He actually works out of Tampa, and he is also in law school.
Oh, wow.
So he brings a lot to the table. And finally, I want to thank Michael Arnold, who is our financial advisor. And all the other individuals that are ambassadors and bookkeepers and admin people. A big thank you actually for Renee DiVincenzo, who is our admin person. And I just want to thank all of you for being such an amazing group of people to work with.
Well, thank you for all the contributions that you and your board have done here, not just for the community, but how you're making a national impact
Yes.
for our veterans and their families. Thank you so very much. All right, guys. So the pig roast, June 11th. Stay overnight, $25 a person. Children 6 and under free. If it's free, it's for me. This would be a great family thing to do. $25. You got to go to the website, rememberingvets.org or rememberingheroes.org.
Yes.
All right. Well, we've expired our time. This was fun.
Pastor Jay, I want to thank you for having me on your program. It's been such an honor, and I am so honored to learn more about you and have you learn a little bit more about me.
I think it's super cool. You come back anytime. Anytime you
Thank
come and
you.
co-host my show. All right,
Thank
guys,
you.
you know what I say? Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not promised. What are you going to do today? Today, you are going to honor, remember, and thank our veterans, our first responders, our Gold Star military families, and our community local heroes. God bless you and have a wonderful day.
Awesome.